Good day. I'm Podcast Pete. Pete Kane is my real name, but I love to podcast. I love to bring people's stories to the community. So today's podcast is what is a ambassador? What is a podcast ambassador? And the three keys to grow your career as a podcast ambassador. You don't have to go very far to see how the popularity of podcasting has taken off. There's thousands of them. And the best time to start is now. It's not over. We're continuing to grow this media because stories are what make a person. A person's story helps you connect emotionally with the person. A bunch of facts and figures, people very seldom remember, but they don't forget a story. So, as a podcast ambassador, you have the ability, these three tips, you have the ability to bring podcasting to your community, your city. And you do it with these three tips. If you have a curiosity for learning, then you'll be a good podcast ambassador because learning and the 300 podcasts that I've done so far, every single podcast I learn. My belief systems change based on my guests, based on a perspective that I never thought. And an appetite for learning creates curiosity and good questions. And when you can have a variety of these guests, we focus on key strategic partners to build a business for a company or person. You're developing a key relationship with people by putting their story out there and you as the podcast host. So if you have a general curiosity to learn and you love learning, you would make a good podcast ambassador. 2, we have the ability to create podcasting with purpose. A lot of people start podcasting, but if they don't have a plan to monetize it and to make it part of their business, then it becomes a waste of time. Not time generally, but their time. Because in business, we have thousands of decisions to make. And a lot of it is how are we going to spend our time? And what is the best use of our time each day, each hour, each minute? So, as a podcaster ambassador, you're putting out content and you're putting it out in a digital footprint. And today, when somebody runs into you and they have a conversation and it's interesting and you're interested in them, they're going to Google you. And if they Google you and they see the kind of content that's possible through digital assets like podcasting, that'll confirm their opinion of that conversation. If they only see a website, maybe a LinkedIn profile or an authoritative website that you're buried in there, well, they might think, well, the person is impressive, but they're not doing much and they don't have an impact. So it's important in today's digital world to have a digital footprint. The third key, you can be part of a community of people that are making an impact on the community they live in and even a bigger community, because the more influence you have on your market, on your people out there that you're trying to reach, the more successful you will be. So when you're starting as a podcast ambassador, You're learning that influence. You're learning that impact. You still have to have a good purpose of why you're doing it. That's why we wanted to bring you this, to help you take a path in your business, in your career, that will be futuristic, meaning the world is changing very rapidly. If you have heard, know about AI, it's changing everything out there. And in the near future, it's going to flip this economy upside down. And if you're not in a position to do something today and you wait, you're going to be part of the crowd that wondered what happened when your competitors flew by you like you're standing still. You want to be proactive. You want to recognize that creating digital assets, learning, putting your information out there in stories, not facts, and not trying to sell, but you're bringing stories to your community. And you're doing it in the niche that you enjoy, that you want to learn, and that you can be out there looking for key people to be good guests on your podcast. So, if you're interested in being a podcast ambassador, you have to first get on the podcast. We got to see if you're a good fit. If you're the type of person that has a big heart, wants to make an impact, is curious, wants to learn, and wants to take a different path of growth in your career. So just go to PeteKane.me, sign up, be a guest on my podcast. We'll get to know each other, and I can tell you more about the path of an ambassador and being a podcast ambassador. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. If you know of somebody that you think would be a good podcast ambassador and they would like to be a guest first on our podcast, share this with them. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to be with you. Go out there and make an impact and add value in the people that you're trying to reach. Thank you.